about Banks's place? I'm very interested. This is real nice.
A little bit of small place, about as big as this.
Was it a place primarily for a Negro?
No.
Or for slumming whites? Let's be very blunt.
It was international.
International.
Anyway. Anybody could come in.
What about the Clef Club? Could anybody come in there?
The Cliff Club, well, now the Cliff Club
It
was
was a gigantic organization. They had
that was only for musicians.
Oh.
Yeah.
I remember Herb Fleming used to work in there.
Huh?
Herb Fleming told me he worked in there.
Yeah.
It's not a club like
club?
Willie worked in. That was a big, tremendous.
That's right, it was for all musicians.
That's right.
But you had to be 21.
Oh.
See? So I was too young.
You didn't get into the Clef or the Tempo Club.
I was too young.
Yeah, you were just a little too early for junior.
That's right. That's right. I was too young. I was only a kid.
So that's actually your first musical experiences of playing. Is that the very first thing? The Banks?
That's
William
right.
Banks. And you remember Mamie Smith, Joseph E. Stevens. You also had Johnny Mullins, violinist with you.
That's
Any
right.
other singers or entertainers?
Oh yeah, Chippy. Oh, what is that Chippy that
Chippy
just got killed? Yeah, Chippy Hill.
Chippy Hill worked there.
Chippy
What
Hill.
year about? Birth of Chippy Hill.
1917, 1918, 1919.
She came in and out, right?
That's right.
Anybody else?
Yes.
Boy, what a blow for Chicago boys. They think Chippy
Oh,
was
now,
never
Miss-
here.
Oh, what was that woman's name? Miss Christmas.
I heard of it.
Eliza Christmas.
What was her first name?
She made one record for Jeanette. Wait.
No, she made a record for the Emerson people. I made it for.
Oh, you made it with her.
That's right.
About what time? About the 21, 22? A little later on, right?
I made a record when Miss Christmas was about 20, early 22.
Early
Early 22.
Now let's see, Miss Christmas. Let's see if I know my Emerson catalog. Maud Mills, she made records with.
That's Waller coming, her Maud Mills.
No, well, this is real early. Let's see, I'm trying to remember the singers. Maud Mills, Rosa Henderson. Who else made for Emerson now?
That's different.
Miss Christmas. Let's see, Lillian Brown.
Amelia Christmas.
Amelia?
Yes.
A-M-E-L-I.
That's right. Amelia Christmas.
C-H, just like Christmas.
That's
And
right.
she made records for Emerson?
That's right.
Did they come out?
Yes.
They did.
And
I'll be very honest, Willie, I've
they
never
paid
seen
me. I had the band. Paid me when you got through them. There was no fooling around with the dough. And I got $25 a man.
Wait, who was in the band? Do you remember offhand? Or was that?
You told me you got a picture up here.
I think Bushel.
Started?
Yeah. Bushel made it with me. Jake
Frazier?
Yeah, Jake Frazier.
Manzi Johnson?
No,
Oh, that's a different one.
no, that's way after.
Oh.
Yeah, Jake Frazier, trombone, Gardner,
Yeah.
Bushell, clarion, sax.
Yes. And what is the
Who's his cornet band? Trumpet.
Gus Aiken.
Gus Aiken?
Gus Aiken.
You know all them old timers better than me.
No, I don't.
Hey, for a real young fellow, this chap, wait, in about 5 years you won't be able to catch him.
Say, that's right. You do.
Wonderful, Mike here.
See, and
You have
Were there
banjo?
two brothers, Gus Aiken and somebody?
yes,
Snowden? No.
no Splivy.
Oh, Spivey, the walking man that walk up and down the bass with the banjo, right? Is that the guy who makes all that? Yeah.
Splivy. And Joe Banks was on the drums.
Spivey,
Banjo.
and Joe Banks.
Joe Banks on the drums.
Drums. You know why this is interesting? Christmas appeared with Jeanette.
That was the only Christmas.
Yeah.
That's the only woman.
Only one. So it probably was Jeanette? All right, let me put down both Jeanette and
Yeah.
Emerson, and I will double check.
Yeah.
Because Jeanette would be late 22, just like you say.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very early.
That's right.
Daisy Martin made one record for Jeanette, and also this little girl. This is real fine information for me, because I never knew who this Christmas girl was. I thought it was a phony name for somebody.
No.
And she also worked at the, well, this is later on. Okay, I want to get this involved.
Look, she worked with me at Banks's too.
She worked at Banks's too.
That's right now, Miss Christmas. Oh, she was a woman, she was.
Gee, I'll bet you if I look around my collection, I may have this record.
And listen,
So you're on that record, Willie.
And
this is
nobody-
your very first recording adventure.
and nobody could beat her singing either. She was a world beater. But only thing, she was an old woman.
She was an old woman. About what age at that time?
Oh, goodness. Right.
I think she was singing either Royal Garden Blues. Wait a minute, what was it?
Yes,
Was that, that's it?
I made it with her.
That's Jeanette, Willie.
I made it with her.
That's Jeanette. That's Jeanette.
I made it with her.
Was Jeanette making New York at that time?
Yes. They were making him with the Jimmy Durante back even further.
Oh, well, Jimmy, I thought Jimmy
That's 1990.
was going out west. Was he going to New
No.
York?
Well, let's not get Jimmy
We
Durante.
used to go down, I think it was 20. I
You
think
know,
it was
who's gonna get a
20
big charge out of this?
Who's that?
Garvin. Garvin,
Oh, yeah?
Garvin has always been trying to figure out a recording. He also has got it confused, either Emerson or Jeanette. And now you just solved it.
Yes, I made it.
Willie, this was your band, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mike, you don't know what terrific information this is. He just cleared up you know, the earliest blues singers on Jeanette were Daisy Martin, and this, I think they changed her name around a bit. Let's see. The name is Christmas, is that
Yes,
in there?
I mean the Christmas.
They may call it Amy Christmas and Lee or something. I don't know. They put some type of name on there. And there was only two singers that are known to make records, colored singers to make records for Jeanette at that time. Daisy Martin, who of course is a real old timer at that time. She's one of the real first gals.
Daisy Martin, I can't remember her.
Well, Daisy was Daisy started about 1907, 1908. Not to make records, but she was here in New York already.
Yeah, I can't remember her.
Yeah, she made records for OK and so forth.
Okay.
Hello there, how are you?
Oh, look, come in here and me.
What other singers do you remember?
Oh.
You have Mamie Smith, Josephine Stevens,
Oh, Josephine.
Chippy Hill, Amelia Christmas,
Lottie Dempsey.
Lottie Gimsey?
Dempsey.
Dempsey.
Oh, Dempsey.
Dempsey.
Just spelled like Jack Dempsey.
Yeah.
She's new, D-E-M-P-S-E-Y.
That's right.
Did she have a name change later on, or she always had that?
Always had that.
Also an all-around singer of all different
Yeah.
types of... In those days, Willie, you had to sing everything.
That's right.
Okay.
And you had to play everything. All by yourself. And it was no making, it was no making believe, cause in days, everybody just heard that particular piece.
So you got to play it note for note.
Yeah.
That's
You
right.
played everything from the classics to ragtime.
That's right. Very seldom anybody would ask you for now a classic, only say now some guy would come in and ask you for Tannhauser.
William,
Yes?
you just get this for a moment. I want you to take something before I come.
Well,
All right,
I can.
excuse me. For Waters, she entertained there.
Did you have an MC, a person?
Oh, no, there was no MC.
No, see, this was strictly a singer and piano and so
right.
forth.
See now, you played, then whoever wanted to get up and dance, they danced.
Oh, I see.
Then after that, a singer go on.
I see. It was a thing. What was it? One of these shows that would start at say 11 o'clock at night.
No,
It was a
no. Around Banks's, you get at 8.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, and then you got off 5 or 6
Hey,
in the morning.
that was an easy job. That's
Yeah,
better than some of the others.
That's, but you come out, every night you come out with $30 or $40, $50. Every piano player, you come out with $30 or $40 or $50.
Did they let you take any breaks at least?
Oh, yes. Oh, certainly you play down and dance and stop, and then you put on the entertainer, and then you rest.
What about in Baron Wilkins? Did you have to play all the time there?
Baron's,
Well, let's not change the subject here. Get back Banks. You also played with Baron Wilkins, right?
yeah, sure. I played at
What
all.
period was it, Baron?
Baron, I went in Baron in 1919.
That's right after your William Banks
Yeah.
Banks day.
Yeah,
After Banks, you went to Baron Wilkins.
Baron Wilkins in 1919.
And now at Baron Wilkins, was it still the same old piano stint, just one piano, or are you a little band now?
Yes, piano, drum.
And drums. Who's the drummer?
Piano and drums. Harry. Oh, goodness. I'm looking at him and can't call his name. He's dead, too. Harry.
His first name is Harry.
Yes.
Don't worry, I'll get this last name. Let's see. Harry, all right. There's a...
Harry Elliott.
Harry Elliott.
That's his name. Harry Elliott.
Harry Elliott. 2 T's,
Yes.
drums, and Willie Gant, piano. Now, this Baron Wilkins had the same style of entertainment. He would have blues singers.
That's
Now,
right.
How long was it that you worked at Baron Wilkins? From 1919 to what?
I played from 1919 to 1920.
Right, 2 years. And now, do you remember anything?
No,
20
1919 to 1920.
Just 2 years. 1 year. 1919 to 1920.
That's right.
That's 1 year. That's probably the fall of 1919
Yeah.
into spring of 20 or something like that. Now, who do you remember entertainers at Wilkins during your stay?
On the Matty Height?
You had Matty Height. I wanted to ask one question about Matty Height. Is the name spelled with 1 T, Matey, or 2 T's? That's been a big question. Matey Height or Matty Height?
Matty,
And with 2 T's.
2 T's. Matty Height.
Anybody else? No.
Yes, and oh goodness, what the girl's name?
Who'd she work with? Maybe I...
Mary Strain.
Mary Strain. They made one record for one of, you know who gets a big charge out of here? Yes, Mary Strain, U.B. Blake.
Oh.
Must be one of his flames. So let's...
Well, look, she was a kind of a fine looking.
He has a picture of her in his house.
Fine looking she was.
Yeah.
And she was a keen dresser.
She made just one phonograph record.
And
Black
she
Swan.
is the first colored girl that ever played in the Ziegfeld Follies.
She was in the Ziegfeld?
Sydney.
Let me put this first.
Yes. Sydney, she was in the Follies.
She made one record
Yeah.
for Black Swan with Joe Smith. When Joe was just a kid.
Yeah.
All right, I don't want to get beyond the subject. Now, tell me some more about any other singers? Or
Yeah, there was a fellow there named Tony, they call him the Colored Wop.
Tony? What was
Yeah.
he, an MC?
No, there was no MCs
Oh, no
that day.
MCs in those
Oh,
days.
no.
What did Tony do?
He used to sing all Italian songs.
All right, look. Can I quote like the Colored Wop? Or is that too inflammatory?
Well, no.
The
Probably that the Italians would
colored,
resent it.
colored delineator of Italian songs.
That's right. Yeah, because that you got to be careful.
Yeah.
See?
Of Italian songs.
That's right.
Anybody else that you recall at
It was Matty Height, Mary Strain, and Tony. Them three.
them 3 you recall?
Yeah.
Now, what was the hours at Wilkins? Was it
8
8?
until.
8 until. Oh, it was one of those until clubs.
That's right.
Until collapse.
Well, all of them then was that way.
Oh, the same thing with the
You see, when you
Banks
went,
Club too.
yes, when you went on, it was until.
Until
Now,
there was no more customers.
that's right.
You know,
Now, like if now, say like at 6 o'clock in the morning, probably now Baron would say, okay, we're closing. Here comes a big white party in.
Oh.
Oh, you can stay there.
You had to stay there.
See? Probably they stayed until 8 or 10 o'clock in the morning. But they paid you.
Let me see.
See?
Willie, do you remember in any of these places this period that you call your
Now, Barons,
barons, and also at the
that was the biggest. That was the biggest.
yeah, well, Baron was one of the chaps coming right out of the original club. He was
Now,
one of
okay,
the time, Willie,
yeah.
at these 2 places here, at Banks and at Baron Wilkins. Do you remember any other musicians coming in and occasionally sitting in? Or it was strictly strictly you? They don't allow a practice like that.
No. Well, them days, see, it was only piano players
It was a play.
that was counted.
That's right. They were the.
See? Piano players and drummers. And a few violin players. But everything was piano.
It was piano.
You had to have a good piano player. You see, because all of them girls, they sing in different keys. See? Yeah. And it wasn't no jive.
So actually, Willie, the very tradition that you're actually carrying on today, in the very early days, you actually...
That's right.
Your movement was from playing solo piano to hot jazz bands, and now you're back where you were.
That's right. Same thing.
Same idea.
Same idea.
It's very interesting.
That's right. Hmm? Okay.
Cold.
Hey, Lord, do you want beer too?
No, this is perfect.
No, this is
You want
fine.
beer?
All right, then.
Beer.
Huh?
Don't you want some beer? Go
I think I'll
ahead.
take one more cube in this thing.
All
Yeah,
right.
help yourself. Got plenty more ice.
Then, as you started to go along in the 20s, you were went right into the jazz band age and so forth.
That's right.
Look, now, let's see, after Banks and after Wilkins, what was your next, 1920 this is now?
And
This is the-
1920.
This was...
Then I went from there down to 53rd Street
53rd Street.
to a place called Georgie Lee's.
George E. Lee's,
And that's where James hung.
where James P. was.
Yeah, James Johnson.
This was in 1920, actually.
1920. That's when I hit down there where James was.
George E. Lee. How was that spelled? Chris?
Georgie.
Just like Georgie.
Yeah.
Georgie Lee.
Lee, L-E-E.
L-E-E.
No, that's all right, that cleans it.
Where James P. was.
Yeah.
And was this actually your first notice of James P.? Or you of course everybody heard of him, but I mean you first heard him in earnest?
No, I was brought up.
You were brought up in his tradition.
That's right.
I see.
I was brought up on him. Now, when I first heard James, I was in short pants. It was 1912. 1912.
First heard.
I was 13 years
He
old
lived in a different neighborhood, I remember you told
in
me.
Hell's Kitchen.
And he lived in the jungle.
That's right.
First heard James P. 13 years old. You was at the. Okay. And.
Len, there's one important thing. You told me he won a contest on 47th Street.
47th
What was the name
Street.
of the place?
It was at a house.
Oh, I see.
It was at a house on a Sunday.
Oh.
Because I think around 1912, James P. worked at Leroy's, or is it was the other place?
No, he worked at a place into the jungles. He worked for Georgie Lee.
He worked for well, this is the
That's
He
right,
worked
because
at-
Georgie Lee was down there. He worked for Georgie Lee, and then he worked at another place on there, Jim Allen's.
Oh, Jim Allen's, that's right.
Jim Allen's.
Now, all right. Now you went to 53rd Street as 1920, and you went to Georgie Lee's, and that's where James P. was playing, or
No, he used to hang out
he used to
there.
hang out. It was a hangout.
That's right.
And all right, tell me more about this place, Willie.
Georgie Lee's?
Yeah. What, you went to work down there, or you just?
No, I went to work there.
You went to work.
Yeah. Georgie Lee got James to get me the job in there. So I went in there,
So actually, it was a recommendation of James P.
yes, on the recommendation of James. Then, Freddie Bryant used to hang in there.
Oh, that's what I want to hear about.
Another piano, wonderful.
I want to hear what he has to say about Freddie Bryant.
This is not Freddie. This is not B-R-Y-A-N. The fellow
There's a T
that
on
wrote
the end,
Sunflower Drag or something. One of the fellows around was this another Freddie Bryant. There's a Fred Bryant.
That's him,
That's him.
Fred Bryant.
Mike, see, that was the same chap. That's the fellow who
That's,
He wrote that rag?
Sunflower something like that.
Oh.
His rags were playing the oldest Jimmy Europe.
Did he ever make any rolls or anything?
no,
No records either?
no, he had a funny disposition. Never hung out with nobody.
I heard he was an old guy while he was still young.
Certainly was old. And then he was a type of fella, if he wasn't a big a big fella. Make no difference if you was white or colored, but you had to be big. For him to associate with you or talk with you. He didn't like no trash. Yes, he didn't.
Yeah.
He did not like no trash. He had a peculiar disposition.
Did you ever see the lion?
Huh?
Did he care for the lion at all?
I don't think the lion. Probably that the lion might have seen him.
Yeah, somewhere.
Brian was big.
Yeah.
Big. You could see him in those write-ups.
The lion.
All the famous concerts.
See, I tell you about Freddie. He never bragged or nothing like that, and he was a quiet guy. And he was on the order of James, quiet.
Yeah.
But listen, he played.
Did James take a lot from him? You know, take a lot of his ideas.
Well, listen, I tell you, James was just naturally unnatural. James was born unnatural.
That's what I.
He was born. James was just naturally born unnatural. Unnatural. You see, Freddie was a natural too.
Let's see. I don't need to ask you, but how was Freddie older than James B?
Oh yes, Freddie was. My goodness, if Freddie be living now, Freddie would be every bit about. Oh, I guess about 70-something.
Yes.
About 75, 77.
That's very interesting because this Brian, he received a lot of publicity in the papers in the teens.
Boy, he was a...
And he was one of the...
So listen, he was a hung man.
He was one of the big men at the club.
Lucky always tells me about him. Lucky says, ask Willie Gant about him.
Like to ask you another
Oh,
question.
he was murder.
Willie, just before, let's go back a little bit. Before you went to Georgia, did you have any type of tunes that you liked a great deal to play? I mean, what was the type of, did you have any specialties?
Jimmy Johnson.
Anything with Jimmy Johnson?
That's right.
I brought tapes of his stuff along.
See, yeah, you see, Jimmy at that time, he was the greatest. It was him and Lucky. Him and Lucky was the greatest. But that Freddie Bryant,
You played one of them.
she wasn't natty. He played just like Art Tatum did now.
That must have been something if he did that then.
He played that way back,
with all the
way
videos.
back there in 1909,
And
1910.
did Tatum know about him?
But
Tatum was in knee pants.
no, Tatum wasn't born.
That's
Oh. this is
Tatum
something.
wasn't born.
Tatum gets a thing, you know, his ideas with him.
How Tatum ever got that idea, I don't know. I don't know. I've heard people say that now you die and then you come back and now
Reincarnation.
come back and somebody else.
somebody else and
Reincarnation.
yes.
That's it.
Because Tatum plays a lot of things like Freddie
Was
Bryant.
Freddie born in New York?
Brooklyn.
Oh, he was born in Brooklyn.
He wouldn't live in New York.
He was living in he was living in Manhattan, he lived in Brooklyn.
No, and then another thing. Like all piano players had a whole lot of girls. I never found a girl yet that ever went with Freddie. When he come over, he used to come over every morning about 12 o'clock, down 53rd Street. Then he hang around there and shoot pool, and go in one of them joints and he'd come back and shoot pool, and if it was a job he'd take it. He wouldn't take a job on the $50 neither.
Well, he felt he had plenty of talent.
He had it. Michael, boy, he had it. And he was a curious looking fellow.
I heard he had big eyeglasses.
Tell me, did he,
Big cigar glasses.
he make any phonograph records that you know of? When did he die? I figured, 20s?
Oh yeah, the early 20s.
Or early 20s. He may have just missed the chance of making some records.
You know why he wouldn't make him? He had a chance.
Yeah, he's too low paid.
He had a chance, but he didn't want nobody to criticize him or catch his stuff.
Oh, I see what you mean. They could play the record slow and
That's
listen to
right,
it.
see? He wouldn't take that, you know. And he was a guy for money.
Well, they weren't paying much then.
Oh, he got it.
I know, but in the records, that's probably one reason he did
The
it.
records was,
Yeah.
was considered, I think, somewhat...
Well, probably,
He took
probably.
the egg to make them, or else it was...
That's right, yeah.
Because it was something new, that's probably...
Freddie was a full if you was a violin player and you was looking for now a piano player, you'd be scared to approach him. You see, cause now imagine them days for an hour, he says now $50. That's lucky.
I think, Mike...
He was...
Yes. Mike, you have the wrong impression about what these chaps used to make. They made plenty of money.
I'm talking about records.
Records were a gag.
I'm not talking
It was an exploiting deal, records. Everybody...
That's right.
They
I know,
thought they
but
were
I'm
just
not
a novelty
talking
to
about
get your...
nightclubs. I know they made plenty of nightclubs.
Here, Freddie was a guy, he played for, he played for the Vanderbilts, he played for the Astors, he played for,
Before Lucky? He did it before Lucky?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, that's interesting. I always thought Lucky was the first one to do that
No, Freddie Bryant. And Freddie could afford to linger, see? Because you had to get on your knees to beg him to play. You had to. Like we'd be here playing. He here now, the piano outside, he's going. Because if he come in there,
Yeah, then people are going to ask him.
begging. Then he was a fella. He lived in there. He lived all by himself.
Yeah,
He lived by himself.
He probably most likely a very miserable person within himself. He did not want to let himself out to sit
That's
anybody.
right.
If you wanted him, you had to pay for it.
That's right. Like if we three were together and we went into the street and see Freddie, he never drink.
He didn't?
No ginger ale. He says, well, come on, now let's have a drink. You know what he do? Well, all right. Then he go in, then he get a drink, ginger ale, and they buy a drink. Then somebody would say, oh, Freddie. See, all places had, every place had now a piano in it.
Yeah, they don't anymore. I wish they did.
Every saloon had a piano cocked in the side. Every place. Every white place, every colored place, every place. If you had a saloon, you had to have that piano.
Saloon was synonymous with piano.
That's right. Then when now some girls would come in and you had to get on your knees to beg him to play, and then he played. He played too. He played
Once
all.
he started to play, would he keep playing? Or would he just stop?
No, he would ask you what you would want. He was not particular about ragtime.
Yeah.
See, no, he couldn't play your style or my style.
He did?
He was not a stride man.
No, he could play that, but he wasn't fond of it. Now, say like playing now, them days it was tangos.
That's a tango tease.
Yes, he played all
You
them
go right back into that
tangos.
era. The tangos and the teas and the ice chocolates.
That's right. You asked him now to play a tango, you asked him to play a Jewish piece, you asked him to play a Hungarian place, he played them. Played them. And oh, God.
You want to know, Willie? I mentioned tango teas and ice chocolates. This doesn't come from any books.
No,
This comes from listening to other people or reading these old newspapers and
That's
getting this
right.
information.
that's
Look, I'd
right.
like to get back to Willie.
Yeah,
Now, when you were at Georgie Lee, was that just a piano? Piano?
no,
Or
down
you had a
Georgie
band?
Lee. Georgie said, I'm going to get a band in here. So I says to myself, here, if he gets a band in here, how am I going to get paid? So he went and got Bubba Miley,
Bubba Miley. This is 1920?
1920.
Wow.
He went and got Bubba Miley.
One question, may I interrupt you?
Yeah.
The name Bubba, how is it spelled? There's been a lot of...
B-U-D-D-Y, in it?
B-U-B-B-A, B-U-B-B-E-R, B-U-B-A. A lot of people have asked whether... I don't think they got it right today. They got it spelled today, B-U-B-B-E-R.
My goodness, I wish I had them old, now them old records, his name is on there.
I know, but listen,
Dude.
the record's correct? Are the records correct?
Well, here's the story. Herb Fleming told me that B-U-B-B-E-R is not correct. Bubba, it should have been B-U-B-A. Now, some people told me it was B-U-B-B-A, because Bubba, it's sort of a name that has Indian connotation, some ways where he came...
All of the boys played cornet, you know.
Yes, that's why, one of the reasons I asked that, because...
Oh, there was no trumpet.
No trumpet, little cornets.
That's right, them little ones.
Did they have trumpets lying around, or they just didn't want to play?
No, there was no trumpet.
Oh, they didn't have them yet.
No.
Now, who else was in this little band? This is very significant.
He had Bubba Miley. He had a little boy named on the drums named Eddie McKinney.
Eddie?
Eddie McKinney.
M-E-C...
That's right.
M-C-K-E-N-N-Y, something like that, right?
That's right, yes.
Kenny, drums.
You,
Now, trombone.
Trombone, we didn't have no trombone.
All right. Saxophone.
No. We had a one-string violin,
One string. Who played that?
Meade. Now, what was Meade's first name?
M-E-A-D-E.
M-E-A-D-E.
That's his last. Okay.
Yeah, Meade.
One
No,
string violin.
what was his first name?
That's all right, Willie. You just
And then
remember-
now he made that out of a cigar box.
A cigar box violin.
Yeah,
Was he featured, or it was a member of the band?
that's right. He was a member.
Of the band, not featured, not a novelty. He was just featured.
That's right. And that was,
That had some sound.
and that was a great big thing.
The cigar box.
Oh, and he used to get on that thing, man, and go. He used to go with that.
Willie, you played the piano part,
That's right.
and who was it? And cornet, drums, the cigar box violin. You on piano.
That's all.
That was a band.
That was the man.
Now, what type of music did you play at that time?
Oh, just rags.
Just rags.
That's right.
Was Bubba growling in those days, or he didn't get the growl yet?
Oh, he was growling then.
He was growling
the
then.
mute and
Yes, he was growling then.
Very interesting.
And look now, remember now, he come out of the Navy. He did.
Oh, this is great.
And then now he was a kid. He was a kid. He put his age up and joined now the Navy, and then now he come out. He come out about 1919.
1919 out of the Navy.
He did.
Wow, this is fascinating to know about Bubba.
Mhm.
And Bubba already was growling. Now, I have one general question. In 1920, was the effect of Johnny Dunn around town much yet?
Johnny Dunn was commencing then. You would hear more of him.
Yeah.
You know, he was.
I know he reached out.
He was coming then.
He was coming hard.
Yes, he was coming.
What do you, in your own personal opinion, Willie, what do you think of Johnny Dunn as in the perspective of yesterday?
Showman.
A showman.
And he would have showed these boys today too.
He was around, I see.
These boys of today might have beat him. In a small place like here. But out on a dance floor or on the stage, he was a showman.
A showman.
Oh man. You see that thing there? You see that thing there, what Louis does?
Yeah.
It's hard to make that high note, you know. Well, that was Johnny. Oh boy, he was a big, tall, skinny boy, and he'd get up and all, take the horn, wheel it around, wheel it
Did he
around.
growl at that time too, Johnny?
Yes.
You think that Bubba may have gotten it from Johnny? Or, this is hard to figure out, it's not what you,
Yes, it's hard to
figure
say,
out.
yes.
But Johnny at this period was just starting to come up. He was being heard of.
That's right, he was being heard
I
of.
believe he was brought in by Handy from Memphis.
That's right.
And he was just starting to make his go here.
I think Handy brought him in from Chicago.
Well,
Oh, didn't
this is-
We and Handy been imported guys?
No,
Yes.
Yeah, Handy.
Yes, he had a band.
Yeah,
And he
Handy.
brought guys in?
Yeah.
Really, right on from all over Kentucky,
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Yeah, sure.
That's right. See, the historians that write the jazz books today take New York for granted. They don't figure that there was anybody here before till the late 20s.
Yeah, it has to come up through the Mississippi, right?
That's right,
Well, they were there long before.
That's right. That's
Now,
right.
get back to this little band here. You played the rags.
Oh, look.
Willie,
Is anything?
Bubba Miley was on cornet, Eddie McKinney drums,
Yeah.
a fellow by the name of Meade played his very
That's right.
usual cigar box violin.
Yeah.
You were on piano, and
Uh-huh.
you played an assortment of rags.
That's right.
And Bubba was just, he was just fresh out of the Navy, about a year out of the Navy. And
Yeah.
Bubba was already growing at the time.
That's right.
And now, did you have any singers that you used to accompany along with the band?
No, oh no.
This is strictly a jazz,
Yes.
What was it called, a jazz band or a ragtime band, or under what
Yes.
name? Or just
Yes, just Willie Gant and band.
Willie Gant and
And
band?
band. Because then, see, I was a kid, and oh man, I was coming like fire. Oh man, I was coming like fire.
So actually, Willie, this is the very first band that you had.
That's right.
First band. Let me put that down. Very significant. In 1920. What's very surprising here is that you gave a little piece of information that nobody knows about Bubba Miley. Of course, all the stuff on you was brand new.
Sure.
Bubba, they never figured Bubba to go back as early as 20 in New York here.
Oh,
They think about 22, you know. But here he is.
Certainly, Bubba went back 1919.
1990.
Yeah, he was a kid. He was. And I was a kid too.
How long were you at Georgie Lee's? Now,
We went in Georgie Lee's. I went there the latter part of 1919 and stayed there until 21.
latter part, 1919.
Yeah. In 21, I come to Leroy's.
1921 Leroy's. Okay, now, yes, now, not about Leroy. Was this another band, or you came?
No, this is where that I got Bushell and all of them.
Oh, so actually I can refer back to the,
Wait a minute, I didn't know.
this is, I'll tell you my,
All these rock and roll singers today are alive.
And listen, the white entertainers could beat every one of these white entertainers today.
they were great singers, Blossom Seeley,
Oh, Blossom
Dolly
Seeley.
Kay, remember that?
Sure. Oh, no.
Marion
The Watkins, Marion Harrison, the Watkins sisters. Them guys could sing, man. It wasn't no kidding. You had to
there were
fill that
there were no-
stage.
There were no whisperers in those days.
You had to fill that house. And you was out there on your 2 feet. Just you and the band down there. And they had some powerful pit bands too. Them bands were bands too. That's right, for playing shows. Playing shows. Today,
What was the general pay for the companies?
well, when I made them records, this is how much the band got. We got $25 a piece.
What do you
For making 2 sides. And they give me 50. I was the lead.
That's right. Was that the general practice amongst all the companies?
Well, I don't know.
Whatever they could chisel off, or if they wanted you bad enough, they give you a bit more, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
I'd like to ask you about this period. Who were some of the musicians that you picked up? Well, you picked up so many.
Well,
Or did you pick up primarily your Leroy's band?
oh well, now I had the best at that time. Bushell was the best clarinetist
You
around.
had him on most of the dates with you?
Yes.
And you had Frazier on a lot of the recordings?
Yes.
And Gus Aiken?
And Gus Akins.
And anybody else you can remember?
Well, see, I had to have them, see, because I was bad in my reading.
Oh.
See, I was bad in my reading, so I had to have them.
You played together, they all understood. It was a
That's right.
family affair.
That's right.
That's very interesting, Willie, because now you
You
actually...
see, like when the entertainer brought a song in, Gus would play it over, see, and then Jake would bring in the second part to me, see, and I had a year, see. Now that
I'm
is,
reading that today.
yeah,
In my band, I have to correct them even though they're reading.
see, but now that is going from one area into the other now. You see, in my voice area, there was only piano. See, I like it, but
You go
entertainer.
back to the time when the piano was the main instrument.
That's right.
That was a
And
part of society that society wanted the piano.
the piano.
That's right.
When the entertainer come in with a song, now the entertainer hummed it to you. Da 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 da, sweet Georgia Brown, da 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 da, sweet Georgia Brown. See, now like that, she hummed it to you. Then,
Like you do it today over at Cerruti's.
that's,
Same.
see, but you had this.
Yeah.
Then you light right out on it, see? And everybody would say, isn't he talented? Ooh, isn't that talented? Oh, yo, man.
Well, he wants to have plenty of kicks, Willie.
Oh, plenty of kicks.
Willie,
Huh?
now getting back to these 21, this period is very, very interesting. It's a mysterious period as far as records concerned. You had Aiken, Bushell, Frazier. Now, what was the frequency of recording? Once a week? Once a month?
Oh,
Once every 6 months?
once every 6 months, sometime, and then sometime twice a month. So there was a quarter in there. So about 3 months later, this guy comes up to me. He says, "I got a job for you." The record come on, nobody's name was on it.
Yeah, that was just a band. Singer in the band.
His name was on it. The brother's name.
What was his name?
Different ones.
Well, all different ones.
Different ones.
Yeah.
How these guys got them contacts, I never knew. He should have made. Fats made 5 times more money than James ever thought about.
You know what the trouble with, what was really wrong with James Payne? Not that was wrong with him. James came a little too early. If Jimmy would have
Think
been
that?
born a little later on,
Let me tell you when I
he would
come
have had
back.
the same type of...
I'm going to tell you what.
play.
He loved to play piano. Now turn that thing on.
That's why he was a little too early for his age.
He wasn't.
He wasn't being accepted that time.
James could have been accepted. He could have been accepted more then than he could have been at any
That's right.
time. First place, James didn't have this. A lot of people say, well, they would not have accepted him because he was a Negro. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. And he went to the whites, right, you know, because he had everything.
That's right, he was a fine classical piano player, everything.
He had everything. He was equipped with everything, with the missile and the bomb, A-bomb and everything. I mean, they could sit down there and go.
Tell them about those things at Willie the Lion. It's a riot.
He go here, no, he want to be with all them old bums. All them bums.
Something was in the psychological makeup.
You
of
see,
James
a
Payne.
lot of them guys, you're going to hear this about me, that I got funny ways. I have. I got funny ways.
Tell them about those things.
I don't like a whole lot of damn bums. I know that I get sick
Well,
and tired of
anybody,
them.
I mean, anybody who has standing and has got to have a family
Hey.
can't afford to. We can't afford to.
But James didn't.
Was James' home life okay, or he had trouble?
No, James's whole life was okay. James just naturally, he loved bums.
Yeah, I think he liked the underdog. Maybe that was too much.
He loved bums.
He
Pat on
loved
the back.
underdog, and anybody, no matter how bad they were.
He
liked
didn't
them.
care if you were white or black. He didn't care nothing about that. Come on, let's go. A piano up there, come on.
What about him and Willie? Tell them about
What?
those stories with Willie.
No, turn that crap off, man.
Oh, I want to get it on the tape.
Oh, no.
Oh, please, Willie.
Oh, come on, listen. Turn that.
No. Well, let us drink up
Was
here.
that the, oh. Was that, did I have anything to do with Jimmy Cooper? Was that Jimmy Cooper's black and white review that Sonny Thompson was? Or
No.
Which show?
A vaudeville.
Oh, on the vaudeville route, yeah. Sonny Thompson. Sonny Thompson Jazz Band. Oh, I have plenty in there. Well,
Yeah,
I can use a little ice.
Little ice?
Yeah, swell.
Okay. Well, I can't go up there. No, because, my God, if you go up there, anything might happen to you. So, with a piano contest, around 47th Street, and I went up there. Me and my little bunch of boys. So we went up there, so I says, who is Jimmy John? Said, there he is. James was a big boy. He was big as you, but he had on short pants. So I says, yeah. So he asked me to play. He said, well, you Willie, huh? I says, yeah. I had nerve. I said, yeah. He said, play one. So I got down there and I played the Junkman Rang. I said, Jimmy, he says, this kid's all right. When he got down there and played, it brought a new life to me. You know, it was something new. What I'd been wanting to hear, he had it.
That's the way I feel.
He had it. It was something my brain craved for. I couldn't get it from them other guys, but he had it. So then, I said to him, I says, can I come up your house? He says, yeah. I says, well, how can I get up there? I says, I go to 41st Street School, and now, I says, how can I meet you, and then now, you bring me up to your house? He says, oh, okay, you meet me at 59th Street at now the Circle. Where that the college scene is now,
Yeah.
That's where James used to meet me every day and take me on over to his house. And I used to watch him, and then he used to teach me. You know? He used to show me these things. Then, oh boy, I was gone, and then, you know.
Once you got the material.
Once in a while, I stayed there with him for 5 years. Every day.
5
Every
years?
year, every day. Every day I used to leave James's house. I used to get out of school 3 o'clock and I'd be up at James's house 3:15. And I used to leave there at 5 o'clock and then I saw papers. See, so I would have my car fare up there the next day. See? On the money angle I was
Even as a kid.
on that money angle. So when I come in stretching out, you know. Now when I was 16, I could play as good as I could play now. I could.
This is all your inspiration and training you received from Jimmy Johnson.
From Jimmy.
You
Did
find
you
Jimmy
say-
a very good chap to, he will give you everything he knew,
Not everything he knew, but he give you the basic.
the basic. He would go over and over again.
And over and over.
Was
over and
Fats
over.
taking him with you too?
Huh?
Did Fats take him at
No,
the same
Fats
time?
come way after.
Oh, I see.
Fats come into the 20s.
Oh, this was before the 20s.
Did Jimmy
Yeah.
have any other young chaps like yourself he's coming up to see him? Did you know?
Yes, but they were thick heads.
Or they didn't take to it?
No,
take
they
it.
couldn't catch it quick. You see? See,
Jimmy, that piano playing came to Jimmy just like water,
that's right.
like water to a person.
Just like them songs come to Gershman. That's how them things come to Jimmy. Jimmy was just natural. The bus.
What company is that? What bus drive? What route?
You said on Madison Avenue.
He's on Madison Avenue.
You say real fabulous.
Murder.
And Fat Dan Carey?
Huh? No. That guy
Now
could
let's
play.
describe him.
That fat Dan Carey boy could play. He was a wonder. He was a big fat boy. And he was another one couldn't read. But he was murder.
What about these guys like Lippy and Corky?
Corky was great.
Is this Corky Williams?
Yeah. He was a great entertainer. He played and sang. And a very nice fellow.
Can you remember any other pianists around that time?
Oh,
How about Mike Jackson? What do you remember?
Mike Jackson.
What was your opinion of Mike?
great.
Great piano player.
And now he was a songwriter.
Oh, very big in the late 20s. Very big.
Songwriter, played.
See, these are all
He,
pianists.
he was a real good artist. Real good
Yes,
artist.
Mike made many, many records. Mike must have
Yes.
made at least 300 records. And not many people know about him.
That's right.
How about, do you remember much about Fats Pichon? Or was that a little later on?
Oh, only when he come in.
Oh, he's a late
What about Leroy Tibbs?
Very good. Very good pianist.
Because I got a record he made with Ethel Ridley.
Very good pianist. Very good pianist.
Yeah, I heard all that 10 stuff.
Yeah.
Is Fat Dan Carey still alive?
No. He died up there in Boston. He was from Boston.
About when would you say he died? Long time back, right?
In the late 20s.
Late 20s.
Remember this guy, Bobby Henderson?
Yeah, now that's Fletcher's brother.
That's Fletcher's brother? The guy who's playing piano up in Schenectady?
Fletcher Henderson's brother.
That I didn't know.
Gee.
John Hammond doesn't even know this then.
Bobby Henderson, that's the one.
Can he play good piano?
Oh, no, you're talking about that one's up there in now Schenectady.
Yeah,
That's another Bobby Henderson.
yeah.
That one up there in
In a hotel.
have you met him?
No, but I heard about him.
Be ready for him.
Is he a good pianist?
Okay.
Boy, he is a riff man.
Is this the one that Hammond was talking
Yeah,
about?
this is Hammond recorded him last year.
He is murder. Yes, he's a big old young boy.
Yeah.
Man, he is murder.
Okay.
He is the one who brought Billie Holiday out.
Oh.
Him and Billy. Man, he can play.
No kidding. Very versatile, play all styles?
Yes, and he's got a style of his own. It's murder. He's a piano player now. He never plays the lead. If he plays a lead, it's only part of the lead, and then he goes for himself. And he can play.
I heard him do those 10 stuff. He was strong.
Oh man, he can play. He's got a very hard attack.
Do you remember Joe Turner?
Certainly, he's in his.
The guy's
he's
over in
Zurich.
Europe.
Willie,
Yeah.
here's a chap that really goes back and there were other records.
Who's that?
George Rexon.
Yes,
What
he's
is it?
living. Very good society pianist.
Yes.
Very
But
good.
yes. How about,
He's a boy now. He looks like a white boy. He does. He's very good.
is he still around, George?
Yes,
Still around.
yes. He lives out there in Long Island. He's very good. He is.
What,
Very good.
yeah, another time. What about Edith Wilson's husband, Danny Wilson, piano? Remember him?
Danny was a very fine pianist.
I know he's dead because I...
Yes, he was a very fine pianist. He was. And there was another piano player was great.
Who?
Guy looked like Jimmy Johnson. He looked like Lambert. Freddie Tonsel.
Oh.
Tunsil.
Tunsil.
Yeah, Freddie Tunsil.
Freddie Tonsel.
What about Abba Labba? What did he go in? Was he between Lucky and James or what? In this, in the era.
Well, listen, no, he was back there with James. Well, now, he was a fuller. He played.
Do you remember The Shadow?
The Shadow?
Yeah.
A piano player?
Yeah.
Certainly. Oh, I won't like piano player. He died up here in Albany.
Yeah, one like Willie.
Oh, well, he was before.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
back
he's, man, way back in 18-something.
How about a piano player who used to front a band I think at Leroy or some other place around there during that era that you're talking about, by the name of O.C. Smith, and he used to have a singer by the name of Spanish Kate.
O.C. Smith.
O.C. Smith.
And look at Kenny.
Oh, shit. O.C. Smith. Or sometimes they spell it O.C.I.E. O.C. Smith. And they had a gal singer by the name of Spanish Kate.
No, he was a trumpet player.
He was a trumpet player?
Yes.
So I must have got a...
Yes, O.C. Smith. Yes, he was a trumpet.
He was a trumpet player at that time. He
Sure.
used to play at a place called Philadelphia Jimmy's. Does that
Yeah.
bring back?
Yes, he was a trumpet
He
player.
was a trumpet player.
Yes, and then he got on the booze.
Listen, was Jack the Bear as good as they said he was?
I heard him. I was a kid.
Yeah, Willie said he was 15 years old when he heard him.
When I heard him, oh, you
You don't want me to?
No.
Girl band. Was that a... did they
Great.
do everything?
great.
It was a great band, huh?
Classic everything.
Yes, they were Lafayette Theater pit
That's
band.
right. And she could play everything. Could play everything. Marie Lucas could play everything. Play any instrument in the band.
She's not alive now.
No.
That was the Sam Lucases. That's a great,
That's
one
right.
of the greatest minstrels of
That's
all
right,
time.
his daughter.
That's right.
When did you meet Lucky?
Oh, I met Lucky in about 1912, 1913.
Could they play his rags, you know, Jumpman rag and things like that?
The white boys could play him.
I know, I mean, but you guys.
Yes,
Because you once told me that none of the guys could play James P.'s rags as well as he did, you know?
that's right.
But could they play Lucky's rags
Yes.
the way he did?
Yes,
Mm.
yes.
Shine, Sly, and
And there was a guy named Harold Gardner.
Oh.
Harold Gardner. He was a wonderful pianist. You very seldom ever hear anything about him.
Harold Gardner.
Harold Gardner.
This is research for you. All these names. You can
Harold.
think of any more pianists. Oh,
Harold
yeah.
Gardner, boy, he was a humdinger.
What about Sammy Davis Sr., his father?
I don't
Was that
remember.
Will Marston? No, not Will Marston. No.
Yeah, that is the one.
Well, Eddie Haywood Sr. How
Eddie
was he?
Hayward?
Was he a
He
pianist?
come from Atlanta.
You would have knocked him out.
Yeah.
You would have knocked him cold. Now he could read. Now
Then he would have knocked me because I can't read.
Well, no, we're not talking about in the pit.
Yeah.
You're talking about in the cabaret like I am down there. You would have liked
How
that.
about, did you ever have a chance to hear John Europe, Jim's brother?
Yes.
What kind of a piano player was he? A ragtimer?
No, societies.
Society, right?
Society pianists.
Yes, because I heard
Is
about
it
Okay,
it.
it's a rag.
If you come to my house or anybody's house and if they didn't have Jimmy Johnson's record or piano roll, well, nobody would stay. He was the big wheel. That was all. It was big. He was the biggest thing that God gave. Even going down the street, I remember him and I took James on a party with me. I was playing down Broadway and 45th or 46th Street. This was about 1914.
1940.
1914. See? So I was getting $15 for that party. Oh, see? So I took James in case if I wasn't strong enough, you know? So man says, well, who is he? I says, that's my brother. I says, he plays too. I says, he plays. So brought James and I in there, and they had a baby grand as big as this room. Great big baby grand. So I got down there and played, and everybody applauded, you know. Nice. So I says to James, I said, are you ready? So he says, yes. I says, now you hear my brother. They says, we don't want to hear you no more. It says, we much rather hear your brother. Woo! Well, that James could play them days. And in the end, James didn't sound like himself. Well, he had about 4 or 5 strokes.
Yeah.
But he was the greatest. He was
Beautiful
the greatest.
pianist.
He was the greatest. He taught facts.
Yeah, tell me about when he used to, how did he teach you?
Well, you see, I was from Hill's Kitchen. So when I met James, I was in short pants, and James was a big boy in short pants. So all kids I could beat. All kids in short pants I could beat.